Thank you. Thank you very much. I am very honored to be here to kick off the very first presentation of the gaming track of the very first AWS Summit here in Seoul. Today, I'm going to talk about new opportunities in the future of gaming. We thought about calling this monetization opportunities, but that didn't really cover it because it's more than just monetization. It's about user acquisition. It's about new ways of monetizing that are outside of the game. It's about lowering your acquisition costs and improving the experience for everyone. It's a lot about fans of your app. Now, a lot of people will ask, why does Amazon care about that? Well, as we heard earlier, Amazon has an app store with millions of customers worldwide in 236 countries and territories worldwide, including Singapore and China. Our customers in these countries and territories can access the Amazon App Store on just about any Android device, gingerbread or higher, the Amazon branded line of devices which we just mentioned earlier, and, this is exciting, the Amazon App Store is the default app store for all BlackBerry 10 devices moving forward. Pretty excited about that. Who are our customers? Well, Amazon customers tend to be a little older, they tend to be male, and they tend to spend a lot of money. Amazon App Store customers spend 386% more on average than Google Play customers do. There are a couple of reasons for this. One, when you sign up with the Amazon App Store with your Amazon account, you already have a credit card registered, so there's no need to put in any additional financial information. That removes a lot of friction. We also use the Amazon one-click ordering button. That also removes a lot of friction from the purchase process. Less friction, more conversion. Also, Amazon coins are available in many countries, meaning that Amazon App Store customers can get the apps they want for up to 10% off. Why wouldn't you want to be an Amazon App Store customer if you can get 10% off? It's all very good. Now, Amazon App Store plus Windows plus the iTunes Store plus Google Play paid out $17 billion to developers, to you, paid out $17 billion last year. That's a pretty big number. One of the things that helped them distribute $17 billion is there are more players than ever on mobile devices. 2014 is the first year that the number of mobile gamers was larger than the number of console gamers. Not only are there more mobile gamers than console gamers, but there has been a 27% increase in the number of paying mobile gamers since 2012. And that trend only continues. So there's a lot of money being paid out. It's getting bigger than console games, so you're in a good industry. But it's actually even better for you. It's better for you because things are very good in Asia Pacific. Let me explain this graph. The circle is second quarter of 2013. The dot is second quarter 2014. On this axis, the horizontal axis, are the number of downloads. The vertical axis is how much money they make. Notice in 2013, Asia starts ahead of just about everybody in both categories. But 1 year later, by 2014, Asia has made more money than all of the other geographies combined. Mobile gaming in Asia is very big and it's leading the world. You guys are in the right place at the right time. Now, let's look at what's happening today in terms of how developers are making that money. These are popular monetization models. The paid model means you pay for the app, there are no in-app purchases, or IAP, and there are no ads. Freemium, you don't pay for the app, but you do get IAP, in-app purchases, and usually no ads. When you see ad-supported, you don't pay, there's no IAP, but you do get to watch ads. Paidmium, on the other hand, makes you pay for everything. Dynamic is interesting. Dynamic is typically a developer will give you the game for free, and if you don't buy anything, they'll start showing you ads. Wooga in Germany does this. They'll give you the game for free, but if you go for a month without buying anything, all of a sudden you start seeing ads. Cat Studios in Hong Kong, you get the game for free, and you see ads until you buy an in-app purchase item, and then the ads go away. So how are these monetization metrics trending? Well, ad-supported and freemium going up, very good. Paid and paidmium, not so popular. As a matter of fact, paid and paidmium are so unpopular that they only account for 4% of all the revenue generated by mobile games. Their end is near. But this is what's happening today. I want to talk to you about what's going to happen tomorrow and what the trends are tomorrow. Newzoo has just finished a study saying that fans, people who enjoy mobile gaming, are going to change the industry. Fans of games and getting revenue outside of your application has the potential to double the total amount of revenue created by mobile gaming's in-game. That's really impressive. To do this, you still need to have a viable product. So let's talk about a minimum viable product. The first thing we need to do is build the game loop. That's the fun part, where you shoot the bad guys or solve the puzzle. We measure that in terms of app ratings, the number of stars you get, session length, and the number of sessions per day. 10 years ago, we used to think this was all you had to do. If you did this, put it in the App Store, hey, you're going to be rich. It doesn't actually work like that, does it? No. Today we know that you need to have a monetization loop. You need some way that you plan to make money on the app. And we measure things like average revenue per user, average revenue per paying user, and lifetime value of the users. We also know that if you just put it in the App Store, nobody's going to find it. Google Play, I think, has over 1 million apps in their App Store. Amazon has over 500,000 apps in the App Store. So you need a way to get customers. You need to advertise and measure daily average users, monthly average users, and the retention of those users. This is what we think of today as a minimum viable product, but it won't be in the future. This is just the start. Where we need to go is to get that fan base that Newzoo talked about. What is so great about a fan base? Well, let me tell you kind of a personal story. I like target shooting. I'm actually very, very good at target shooting. That's me, a long time ago, but that's me. I was on the US shooting team. I was so good. I spent thousands of hours training. But even though I was on the US shooting team, not one of you knows who I am. It's okay. Nobody ever sold a jersey with my name on the back. It didn't happen. Shooting is a great sport for players, not so good for fans. American football, on the other hand, is a great game for players and fans. I mean, look up here on the big screen in the picture. There are the players. They're having a great time because they've got lots of fans around cheering for them. And look at the fans. They've got jerseys with people's names on them. They have stuff that they've created themselves, tattoos, crazy hair. They're wearing licensed merchandise. All of this additional revenue opportunity that's being generated. And one of the best things you can get from having a fan base is new players. My son loves American football. He begged me over and over and over to play football. As soon as he was old enough, he could. And I've been paying over and over and over so that he can have the equipment he needs. The National Football League has to spend $0 on player acquisition. Wouldn't that be neat if you didn't have to spend any money on player acquisition? Now, is it realistic to compare professional sports teams like football or soccer or cricket to mobile gaming? Is that really something you can do? Well, yes, it is, actually. It is something you can do. Look at these numbers from North America and Europe only. There were 89, in 2014, there were 89 million people who said that they were active esports watchers. Another 117 million said they were casual observers. In 2014, they made $194 million in additional revenue from outside the game that doesn't include paid IAP or ads. That's a lot of money, and it's only going to be more in 2017. Big names are getting into this too. Red Bull sponsors airplane races. They sponsor Formula One, and they sponsor Optic, a Call of Duty team. So Red Bull is now paying gamers to play in front of other people. Of course, this isn't news to you. You know all about this. South Korea leads the world in professional esports teams. Just look at all the professional, well-sponsored teams you already have when it comes to PC gaming. You get this, I know that. How do you get this from PC gaming to your mobile apps? How does your mobile app generate that kind of a fan base? Let's take a look at what makes up a fan base. What is included in a fan base? The first part is influencers. Influencers are your first adopters. They're going to be the ones who carry the banner of your fantastic application to the mainstream, to everybody else. For the car brand, Mini Cooper, they also had advocates. When Mini Cooper first came out, people who bought a car had to wait a long time for their car to be delivered. And while they were waiting, Mini decided that these would be very good brand ambassadors. They created a program making waiting fun. They sent them parking stickers, Mini Cooper only. They sent them t-shirts, I'm a Mini Cooper owner. They sent them all kinds of things that the Mini Cooper owners were excited about. They gave them a way to track the production of their car and to track it being shipped to their dealer. Guess what these owners did? They tweeted about this to all of their friends, so all of their friends knew that they're a new Mini Cooper owner. How does that work for games? Advocates love the apps just as much as they love the cars. And what these advocates will do was they'll create fan art, and they'll share that with their friends. You absolutely want to encourage this. If you find people making fan art of your game, don't just be happy, promote it. Ask them if you can put it up on your site and give them credit. This is wonderful because like the Mini Cooper owner that shares his excitement with all of his friends, when this person's art is up on your site, they're going to tell all of their friends that they're now online with your game. This is wonderful. When they bring new users to your game, give them some in-game currency, some soft currency as a way of saying thank you very much for bringing new users in. League of Legends is very good at that, and it's helped them become very successful. Now, we all know when you release an app, it's very important to have a lot of good ratings within a week of your launching the application. It's very important to get that to make future downloads. Therefore, it's very important to have the first 500 or first 1,000 users already before the app launches. How do you get fans before the app launches? Share your development experience. This is a wonderful thing to do. Here, this is a Twitch stream. Van Bleer is streaming the development of the new game, Nuclear Throne, to fans. Take a look at the numbers down here. He's got 11,500 people who can't wait to see him do more development. They subscribe to him. And he has had 8.2 million views of the development work he's doing. A lot of people are very engaged with his development. Oh, one more thing I want you to notice. subscribe for $12.99. Those 11,000 people all gave him $13 to watch him develop. Talk about an extra stream of income. And something that makes Twitch unique is that, one, it's available worldwide, so you can augment the work you're already doing with streaming services in Korea, and you can take that worldwide with Twitch. But it also lets his fans talk to him while he develops. If he's making an animation for something that blows up, and the fans don't like it, they'll write to him and they'll tell him. And then maybe he changes it. Hey, he took my idea. I'm going to get the game. I'm going to tell everyone that my idea helped make that game. Or even if he doesn't want to use the idea, he'll explain why. And he'll engage with his fans, building a huge fan base before his game ever launches. Here's another example of a team where the developer, the designer, the program manager, and the project lead are all together building the game on Twitch. Notice one thing that they're doing. They're promoting a Kickstarter campaign. They're getting people to donate money to help support the game development. This is great because that's another way of raising capital for your business that's outside the actual revenue generated by the game. When you donate to them, they'll give you a t-shirt of the game when the game launches. By the way, t-shirts are free marketing for you. And they'll give them a free copy of the game, which really costs them nothing because they've already built the game anyway. So it's a very cost-effective way of raising capital for Deadwood. Phenomenally successful. Just having fans isn't enough, though. You really do need to interact with them, talk to them, let them know that you've heard them. We had Apptentive do a study, and what Apptentive found was that if you don't interact with your fans, after 12 weeks, you'll have fewer than 10% left as active players. But if you do interact with your fans, you let them know that you've been heard, you celebrate their achievements, you celebrate their art, you're going to have 25% left. That's a significant difference. As a matter of fact, if you interact with your fans publicly, they are 4 times more likely to become long-term users of your game. That's a big deal. So fans are great. Interacting with them is even better. Another kind of advocate is the game professional. When I say game professional, I mean someone who makes a living playing games. The young man here is Raynad27. Raynad27 placed in the top 10 in 6 major Hearthstone tournaments worldwide last year. He makes hundreds of thousands of dollars just by playing Hearthstone. He did a special promotion with Amazon on Twitch. He got 263,000 views for a total of 10 million minutes watched. All these people spent 10 million minutes watching him play this game. That's huge. Look at the number of subscribers he has, 209,000. Guess what? Imagine if each of those paid you $13 for the privilege of watching you. That's why he's a professional. Celebrities are also really good advocates and influencers. How many of you have heard of PewDiePie? Anyone? Anyone? A couple people. PewDiePie lives in the US, and he films himself on YouTube playing video games. What's so great about that? He's quite a character, actually. And he has a lot of subscribers on YouTube. And when, on January 27th, PewDiePie showed himself playing playing Flappy Birds, look what happened to Flappy Birds. He plays Flappy Birds, and on the next day, there's a tremendously huge spike on Google search for Flappy Birds. Now, this is a good chance to stop and pause and ask, is your game infrastructure ready for that kind of success? If PewDiePie found your game tomorrow and you saw that kind of a volume increase, is your back end going to be able to handle that? Well, don't worry. My colleague Nate is going to come on after I am, and he's going to talk to you about how an AWS infrastructure can help you accommodate sudden success like that. But if you do, thank AWS and PewDiePie, because he's huge. So people like PewDiePie have a huge fan base of their own. Help them help you. He's not going to talk about a game unless it's on all of the devices that his fans use, and if it's in the countries that are relevant to his fans. So make sure that you're available on all the devices, not just phones, but phones, tablets, and other devices, in all of the marketplaces, Korea, Asia Pacific, North America, Europe, where their fans are. They're not going to promote you if you're not available for their fans. Obviously, we've seen what a big impact influencers can make to your game. They help pull the rest of the mainstream along after they've done a good job of telling their friends about it and of streaming it and creating content for it. But when we're advertising, most of our advertising hits the entire population. Our advertising is random. Some of it will hit this, and a little bit of it will hit here. Your advertising early on that hits the mainstream won't be nearly as effective as your early advertising that hits influencers. To make the most of your early advertising success, try to target your advertising to influencers. Ways to find influencers include going to Twitter and looking for Twitter hashtags or groups that tend to talk about new games. Start marketing campaigns to those people. Go to local game groups or game development meetups. Offer to buy drinks or food for a meeting and ask to talk about your game. Those people there are influencers. Just like your developers, you guys are influencers in your community. Other developers are influencers in their community. Leverage these people and target your marketing spend on influencers. It's much better spent than just random marketing spend. Now, the second part of a fan base is content creators. Well, PewDiePie is a great example of a content creator. Not only is he an entertainer, but he creates YouTube videos. As it turns out, when you look at the most subscribed YouTube broadcasters, PewDiePie is number one. He has over 34 million subscribers on YouTube. That's actually more than YouTube itself has subscribed to the YouTube channel. It's kind of funny, I think. But take a look at the next two, numbers 3 and 4. Publishers 3 and 4 are also more widely subscribed than popular artists like One Direction, Rihanna, and Katy Perry. Who would have thought that 3 game developers are more popular on YouTube, or 3 game entertainers are more popular on YouTube than Katy Perry? Wow. You can't ignore content creators. Content creators can get you in front of more people more quickly than any other form of advertising possibly can. Now, YouTube is you sit and you watch, and obviously it's popular. But Twitch is interactive. Twitch is live streaming. Twitch means watch me play and ask me questions. If I'm doing a level run through on YouTube and you have a question, you'd have to send me mail or put a comment in and hope that I answer. But on a live stream, you can ask right then what's happening. You can ask what's going on immediately on Twitch. Twitch has 100 million unique users, and Twitch users watch 16 billion minutes of video per month. It's a lot of watching worldwide. It's a lot of people watching people, hopefully, playing your games. Education content is also a really important kind of content creation, and it usually takes the form of level walkthroughs or how to build your card decks or how to build levels in Minecraft. These things are great. If someone is creating content, educational content for your game, don't just be grateful. You help promote what they've done. If they've made a really good level walkthrough, you mention it in your official game communications. You mention it on your game's website. You help these people be successful, and you'll encourage more people to create content for your games. The people who've created content for your games will create more content for your games if you help them be successful. This is exactly how you build a large and growing fan base. Third, The content is esports. How many people recognize the stadium? Oh, come on, I'm sure some of you recognize the stadium. This is World Cup Stadium right here in Seoul. Right here in Seoul is where they had the League of Legends World Tournament. The stadium was packed full of people who paid money to get in and watch two teams on 10 computers have the ultimate League of Legends battle. Not only were the stands filled to watch these people, but these commentators were hired to give play-by-play analysis of everything that happened during the game. This is looking a lot more like the American football picture, isn't it? It's looking a lot more like real established money-making traditional sports. This is the way our industry is going. We need to make sure that we're ready for that. Good kind of content, again, is fan art. Disney Corporation has famous attorneys. Their attorneys are famous for protecting their intellectual property and telling people they can't steal Disney intellectual property. So when a 13-year-old girl made a drawing about Club Penguin and put it up on her social media site, what did the attorneys at Disney do? Well, actually, they were really smart. They didn't tell her to take it down. They said, "That's great. Please, let us put it up on Club Penguin. We'll make a fan site. We'll tell everyone that your Club Penguin art was brilliant." What did that 13-year-old do at school? Yeah, she told every single one of her friends that they needed to go to Club Penguin and check out her art. What did her friends do? They saw the art and said, "I can do better than that." They created their own art and sent it to Club Penguin. You can't buy marketing like that. That's brilliant. Encourage people to create content for your games. When people create content for your games, they may create content that make your game last forever. Minecraft is still popular today. Why? Well, in part because when new things happen, like the movie Hunger Games, when the movie Hunger Games was released, very soon after, there was Minecraft content that replicated the worlds in Hunger Games. Trivia Crack, which is a popular trivia game in the United States, could easily have run out of content after a while, but not when each user is submitting their own trivia question. And when you see a trivia question show up, you also see a little icon that the user sent, showing who they were and giving them acknowledgement. It's kind of cool seeing your name in a game as a fan. You encourage me to make more, and I can check on the stats. I can see how many people liked my question. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm not just a player, I'm a fan and an invested contributor in the game. That's a great fan base. A great fan base also creates alternative revenue. Think about this. If a user is creating art and sending it to you, you could encourage that by saying, all of you, send me your art and have a contest. Have your players vote on the top 2 pieces of art and then turn them into a t-shirt and sell the t-shirts. It costs you almost nothing to set up the technology to do this, and the people who voted for the first one will want to get the first t-shirt, their winner. The people who voted for the second one will want to get the one that they thought was best. They'll get their t-shirt. And now you have a bunch of advertisements walking around showing off art about your game. It doesn't even have to be a game. Twitter, for example. There's a cookie cutter for Twitter. Someone sells a Twitter cookie cutter. Who thought Twitter would advertise in someone's lunchbox? Brilliant. Also, Evernote, a very popular note-taking application in North America and Europe, recognizes that not all notes are taken electronically. They have a line of Post-it notes and notebooks that are branded with the Evernote name. All of this revenue is taking place outside of the application. It's not in-app purchasing, it's not advertising, it's not a paid app. It's all revenue that's happening in addition to what you're getting through your game. Now, if you're really, really lucky, you'll get revenue streams from Kickstarter, from people donating money, from Twitch streams where you have subscribers, from people making cookie cutters, and feature-length movies. Yeah, how neat would that be? We've seen feature-length movies for Tomb Raider, Prince of Persia, and Resident Evil. Ubisoft will be releasing a feature-length movie on Assassin's Creed soon. And the tablet game Angry Birds by Rovio, I just heard last week that they may have an Angry Birds movie coming to the theater soon. That's pretty cool. It may not happen to all of us, but it's neat to know that that kind of work, that kind of mobile gaming is being taken seriously in the industry. Now, what can you start doing today to help make these transitions possible? First, we want to really take care of our influencers to get off to a good early start. Communicate with them early while you're developing. Communicate with them often. Get them engaged early. They're going to be your first 1,000 fans, your first 1,000 reviews. Take care of these people. These are very important. Professional players are important too. Treat them like VIPs. If a professional player takes an interest in your app, do everything you can to respond to that interest, because that brings a lot of eyeballs and a lot of attention. Entertainers like PewDiePie are also very important, and kind of like me, they're also kind of lazy. So make it easy for an entertainer to show off your game. Don't just send an entertainer your game and hope that he plays it. Send him the game and let him know that if you kill the boss on level 2 with a club instead of a sword, you get this amazing animation that's really funny. And the transition between these two levels is super exciting to watch. That way, the entertainer doesn't have to luck out to find it. The entertainer doesn't have to guess what's fun. You've led him right to the parts that are going to amuse his fans, and he'll be much more likely to promote your app on his Twitch channel or on his YouTube channel. Providing easy value to entertainers and lowering the barriers to their participating is going to be big in building influencers. Make it easy for people to create content. Encourage them to do it. Give them a place to show off the content they've created. When they create content like their own YouTube videos, help promote that. Help them be incredibly successful, and they'll help you be successful. Alternate revenue. This is how you make all of that money that's not attached with your game. Licensing for notebooks or notepads, cookie cutters. But more realistically, it will be t-shirts, it might be stuffed animals. It may very well be income from a Twitch stream, or it may be ad revenue from a YouTube channel where you show people playing your game, and maybe you show some level walkthroughs of your own game. Bottom line, to get a really strong stream of alternative revenue, help your fans with their business. Maybe they have a business because they're trying to become the next PewDiePie. If you help your fans be successful, they'll help you be successful. Now, once you've got all of this planned, well, it's time to put your app on the Amazon Appstore. Fortunately, it turns out that that's pretty easy to do. Most of the APKs that you've already written, most of your Android apps, will just already work. Amazon runs Android. We're currently up with Lollipop. And 75% of the Android apps submitted will just work. Take a picture of this slide because I'm going to want you to go here, developer.amazon.com/welcome. What you'll see when you do is a control on the left-hand side of the screen. Drag and drop your APK onto that control, and it will tell you whether your APK will just work or not. If it happens that your APK won't just work, you'll get a list of exactly why and what needs to happen in order for it to work. Couldn't be easier. Well, actually, it could be easier, and that's why I've made a short video that actually shows going through this. Go ahead and take a picture of this too, because you're going to want to go to the bit.ly link, Submit to Appstore. At bit.ly Submit to Appstore, you'll get to see a 3-minute video on how I took an app from Google Play and submitted it to the Amazon Appstore. Really great process, super simple and easy. Now, here are some tips to make that even easier for you. If you want your app to be available on the Amazon branded line of Android devices. The Amazon devices don't support Google Play APIs. So if you use Google Play's in-app billing, you'll need to use Amazon's in-app purchasing API. We have a conversion guide at the website I showed you earlier. It's very easy. You would also use Amazon's device messaging. Oh, by the way, if you're already doing device messaging for iOS, for Google Play, you do device messaging for Amazon, don't write 3 different services on the back end. Use Amazon Web Services simple notification service. You write one back-end server, and it communicates to all of your apps on all of your platforms. So simple notification service is a great way to do device messaging simply and cost-effectively. Why don't apps succeed on the Amazon App Store? Why do they fail? The most common reason for an app to fail its test into the App Store is because it has too many methods and it runs into a DEX compile error. If you can't make your app smaller by eliminating unused methods, then you may have to use multi-DEX to compile your app. Now, fortunately, multi-DEX has a Gradle plugin. And the Gradle plugin means it will work with Android Studio. So you can use multi-DEX for an Android Studio. Another problem is a canvas restore error. This occurred first in Lollipop. Prior to Lollipop, if you tried to restore a version that was larger than the number of saved versions, Android would just ignore the error. But in Lollipop, if you try to restore a canvas version number that's larger than the number of saved versions you have, you'll get an error, and an error will be thrown, and that causes some failures with Lollipop now. The third most frequent reason that apps don't pass the Amazon App Store is because the product description doesn't match what the app actually does. I know that sounds odd, but it does happen. Imagine you got a description for a game, for an app that said, you can get video of the top the top football plays of the week. What would you expect? You'd expect video of the most amazing corner kicks that seem to bend space-time and get into the corner of the goal. You would expect a goalie who defies gravity and stops a shot at the top of the crossbar. If, on the other hand, you got a PowerPoint slideshow with cheap background music, you'd be kind of disappointed, wouldn't you? Yeah. Amazon is very concerned about not disappointing our customers. And if we see that the product description does not accurately reflect what the application does, we will ask you to change the product description, or we'll ask you to change the app to match. Fair enough. When you're building apps, please make them available to all of the customers of the influencers that you want to work with. Hopefully, this means you want to send your games to the US so that I can play them. I would like you to do that because you know what? We love the same games you do. We really like playing the same things that you like playing. We do like our instructions in English. Very few people in the US speak any foreign languages. We like our dialogues in English. And we're very picky about quality. If it's not good enough for South Korea, it's not good enough for the US. And let me give you an example. Let's say that you have a character in your game, and there's a speech bubble that has some text in it. The Korean text fits perfectly in the speech bubble, and it looks great. When you localize the Korean to English, maybe it only takes up 3/4 of the dialogue bubble. If you leave the empty space there, that doesn't look good. You'd never accept that in South Korea, and we would probably think that's kind of funny in the US too. So make sure that the dialogue bubble fits the amount of text that you're showing. So it's that kind of attention to detail that we care about just as much as you do. Other than that, give us your games. I really want to play them. Don't worry too much about the graphics. We have a lot of diverse tastes, a lot of interests, so I'm pretty sure you'll find a willing audience for your games in North America. Guys, thank you very much for your time today. If you'd like to ask me any questions about what I talked about, please contact me on Twitter, Mike F. Hines. Go ahead and take a picture of that. I love Twitter followers. Thank you. You can also follow the Amazon Appstore. And if you want to learn how to make more money with IAP today, go to the bit.ly link, Top 50 IAP. I'm going to show you what the top 50 apps do with in-app purchasing that the rest of us don't. It might really be able to make a difference for the revenue you make in today's model while you work on building a fan base for the revenue stream in tomorrow's model moving forward. Thank you very much.